Hey, gun people and horsey people. I want to put this on both my channels because most of my horsey people know who Lester is. And so I just did a video on this other guy that had a trespasser, and Lester had a trespasser. And I was going to call Lester after I watched this video going, dude, what the hell are you? And I was like, you know what? I'll just chew him out on a video. And look, I love Lester. He's my brother. I like him, okay? There is no ill will here. But I don't want to see his ass getting skinned and shot in the woods, so I'm going to try and give him and others that watch this, because a lot of people have sent me this saying, man, Lester chased a guy with no gun. And I went, oh, shit. So I don't even know if Lester knows about my gun channel or watches it. We've done live together. He's a good guy. There is no ill will here. But Lester, you big dummy, I'm going to try and save your life here. Luckily, he's got Jamie that's got a little bit more sense, I think, sometimes. All right. Here we go.
Morning, folks. Lester here. It's a bright and beautiful morning here at Longhorn Lester's. I'm getting going early this morning because we finally have a break in the rain.
Like a little kitty. That looks like Moki Cat.
Now, listen, I am not one to complain. Oh.
I love the way when he sees Jamie bringing him coffee, he's like, oh, see, this is how guys get distracted as shit. Little shiny things that he's all in a conversation. All right. Oh, shit, she's got coffee.
Oh, there's my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cup of coffee. And Jamie, I'm kidding.
To wear this cup of coffee.
See, I can so relate to you.
Over here, bring that coffee.
You're in ways that you haven't before.
So we've gotten so much rain here. We've gotten 3 inches here at Longhorn Lester's, and we've gotten 4.5 at I'm a Survivor. And I am not going to complain about the weather whatsoever. All right, so my plants.
Okay, so this is a really critical point of this whole thing. I don't know why my nose has started running. Sometimes I sit up here and I have an allergy or something. My nose just starts running for like 5 minutes and it goes away. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I digress. So this look right here, this reaction when you hear a gunshot. Now look, for you people not in Texas, it's pretty normal to hear gunshots. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, especially if you live out in the country, especially during hunting season. But in this case, you can tell the total concern, and I like the way their body position just totally changes from relaxed and talking to right before this thing happens. So there's relaxed, she's smiling, he's relaxed, and then the immediate change on a gunshot in their facial. And this is what's called the fight, flight, or freeze. For a second, they freeze. And when you freeze, that's called the evaluation process. In police work, we call it lag time. When you're not prepared for something, when you're in your white zone, and they're in their white zone, they're having their coffee, they're having a nice day, he's doing this. He feels safe, and he's not expecting any threat. He has no plan to react to a threat. This is what the white zone is. There's a color zone in cops. I've talked about it before. I'll slide in a little slide here. It tells you, your white zone is your safe zone. You shouldn't be in your white zone too much. Then you have your yellow zone, a little caution. Then you may go to your orange or red zone, which is, hey, you better be ready. Shit's hitting down. And then there's the black zone, which is the panic zone. You don't ever want to get in a panic zone because then you're reacting without a plan. A little bit, Lester goes into the black zone here. Here we go. Watch this facial expression, and their whole mood changes at the second the shot is fired.
All right, so my plants.
Little confusion, lag time. So what's happening right here is there's a process that the mind goes through. Am I in threat? Is there a danger? What's going on? I'm not sure what's going on. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I ignore it? Is this normal? All this creates lag time because they weren't prepared. I'm not saying they should have been prepared. We all get caught with our pants down. I tell a story when I was at a gas station filling up with gas in Texas, and a car, somebody had a seizure, and the dude floored his car and turned right into the building next to us and hit these cement pillars, and the car literally just exploded. The wheels got sheared off and went flying. and it made a huge boom, almost like a gunshot, i.e. bomb. I immediately went for my gun in my car, not like super immediately, like I'm Superman. There was a boom, and I went, shit, what happened? Gun. And I immediately grabbed my gun, and then I figured out what was happening. But I wanted to have my gun while I was figuring out that process. That's just the difference in reaction or training, or, people will say I'm paranoid. Wow, Rick, it was just a car wreck. Why would you grab your gun? It's just different. So they get this, what was that? What's going on? Should we be threatened? And then they start not formulating a good plan, but they go into reaction mode.
That sounded like it was right there.
Okay, do not go over there.
Now, they cut out some part here for whatever reason. From here, they look at, you notice Lester's look like, oh shit. Watch this.
All right, so my plans.
Lester's like, oh shit, right here. And I don't know why they cut it out. Maybe because they didn't want to hear, what the hell is that? Whatever. I don't know. I mean, sometimes you just don't want to put everything in there because some people can't handle it. But whatever. This look, and then we go to fade out.
That sounded like it was right there.
Okay,
So whatever happened between here, in my opinion, what should have happened is anytime you think that there's a threat or danger, arm yourself. You're in Texas. Everybody's got a gun. You don't want to show up to a gunfight without a gun. That's not a good plan. That is a plan to fail. Remember, no plan is a plan to fail. Now, I'm not saying you should always have a plan in case you hear a gunshot. I mean, I kind of always have a gun near me. So I can always grab a gun. There's guns in my car. There's guns around my ranch. There's guns on my golf cart. There's guns in my house. So I always have a gun close to me that I can grab. Some people will call that paranoid. That's okay. Here we go.
do not go over there. Stop. No.
So Lester's in his boxers. For those people that don't get guys, if we don't have to put on pants, we don't put on pants. I mean, a lot of my videos, I mean, I don't show it, but a lot of my videos, I'm in boxers. Things happen. I got my camera. I'm not going to be in camera, but if I'm videotaping, I'm in my comfortable shorts, okay? Boxers are just like shorts. They're just thin shorts. Everybody going to get all panicky. He's in his underwear. Whatever. He's got shorts on. He's got covered. It's not like he's naked. What's the difference between that or a pair of shorts with pockets? And it's the same thing. Relax, people.
Oh, no.
Now, the Crocs, I mean, I wore Crocs, but that's not what you want to go chase people with guns.
That was way too close. Extremely close.
Okay, so you notice this is the difference between men and women. Here's where I'm going to piss off all the women. Sorry, Jamie. Women are a little bit more vocal and they like to talk and express and communicate and ask for directions, and guys don't. Lester's in stealth mode, moving over there, not to give away his position so he can get a look and maybe get more intel on what's going on. He's talking.
No, that was way too close. Extremely close. Oh. Stop.
I love this video. This is reality, people. People that want to blame and pick this apart and say how they should have done this. Look, I'm doing this for education purposes to get people to think. So take it for what it's worth. I'm not here trying to make somebody look bad or dumb or stupid. It's just we all react different ways and we can learn from it. That's why the internet is such a great place to learn. A lot of mistakes here.
I know there's a lot of people who are out and about hunting this time of year, but that sounded so close.
So again, we are still in the evaluation. You can't make a plan if you don't have information. You hear a gunshot. Is it close or is it not close? Is it on your property or not property? Is it a legal hunter in a legal area that's near you, or is it not? So this is the process. My default is grab a gun. I don't care what it is. Grab a gun. That way you're armed. That way you're prepared in case it's not what it turns out to be, because you don't know what it's going to turn out to be. If this turned out to be 3 guys and they had just killed something and they didn't want to give up that, and now this guy pops up, shows up in his boxer starts saying, I don't have a gun, I'm not armed, as a criminal, I'm like, thanks for the info. Now I know you're not going to shoot back. Not the greatest move, but I get where Les goes. He's a good guy. He's not a threat. He's not a tactical guy. He's a school teacher. He's not a hardcore gun guy. So I get it. He's just being a guy saying, hey, man, I'm not going to call the cops. I just don't want you hunting my property. I want you to leave. He's a good guy. Unfortunately, when good guys run into predators, good guys lose every time. Unless they're armed and prepared. This is probably going to be a long video because his video is 15 minutes. And I'm talking.
Oh, no.
So right here, when he says, oh, no, I'm thinking in his mind, he's like, I think I see somebody in the house. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. But from the tone of his voice, he's got new information, and he really doesn't want to accept it. He's almost like trying to wish it away. Kind of like when a kid covers their eyes, they don't want to see something. Or when somebody's lying, their hand will be near their mouth or near their ear because they're subconsciously knowing that the words coming out of their mouth and what they're hearing is lies. So it's a subliminal thing that right now he's kind of subliminally saying, damn, somebody's here. I really don't want to deal with this. I wish this wouldn't be happening. He's kind of trying to wish away. I'm just thinking. I could be totally wrong.
You're not even...
So this is called the tactical panic stealth mode.
Oh my god.
Don't be showing my shit. So he's about to get shot by poachers in the heightened awareness of a critical incident where gunshots could rain out and he could become a victim. It could be one of the millions of people that Biden and freaking, our governor is letting across the freaking border. It could be illegals that want to kill. It could be drug dealers. And the moment he's going to die, he's still concerned about protecting his dignity. Are you kidding me? I don't give a shit if I'm buck naked. I'm concentrating on the threat.
Bring me some pants.
So now he's getting Jamie to bring him pants. And Jamie is like, you didn't ask for a gun. You didn't ask for a belt. You asked for pants. I brought you pants. So this is where communication and more thought process between the two would be like, well, he's out there. We heard a gunshot. He's chasing somebody in his underwear. I'm getting him pants. Jamie, just grab a gun. You can never go wrong by having a gun. I mean, that's just, to me, that's why I hate gun control. I hate this philosophy that guns are bad and you shouldn't have them and you don't need them. You may not need them, but it's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Bring me some pants. Hey!
Okay, so here's where he decides this is a conscious effort. He's going to confront somebody with a gun that's just fired, and he's going to confront him. This is what I would call a not thought out move, but this is a reaction move. Most people would probably do this, even though they say when I would probably do this, even though I would say I wouldn't. If I saw somebody on my land, my first thing would be like, yo, what the, who are you? You better, but then my second thought would be grab a gun. If I thought it out, it would be like, I'm not letting them know I see him till I get my gun, and then I'm going to challenge him. But not a big deal. He's going to confront him.
Hey! Do not shoot! We got people over here!
Okay, so you can hear his voice and his message is different. His voice is demanding and authoritarian. Hey! Do not shoot those people! Because he's pissed off. I get it. But he doesn't have a gun or any way to enforce his demands. He's making demands on an armed guy and has no way to enforce it if the armed guy says, shut up, here's a bullet for your ass. Here's a bullet for your boxers. So if this guy starts shooting at him, what was his plan? And did he even think that if this guy shot at me, what's my next move? Again, he's in reaction mode. I get it. I'm not telling anybody that Lester's a bad dude. I like Lester. I wish he would have thought this out better, but it all turned out okay. No harm, no foul. Hopefully he learns from it. Hopefully other people learn from it. Don't confront people with guns unless you have a gun. It's just a lose-lose move.
We got people over here! Stop shooting! Hey!
No.
Do not shoot! We got people over here! Hey! Hey!
Okay, so right here, I thought I saw somebody. There is somebody walking down the stairs. I think he's right here. There's a body. It was hard to tell. You'll see better footage of the guy later. There's his head. Got a hat on. You can tell what hair he has.
Hey! Sheesh. You trespass!
So a guy's going away. Now again, I haven't talked to Lester. I would do a live on Lester with this if he wants to, and we may do that if he wants to. In his mind right now is he processing, I don't see a gun. So maybe this is the guy that shot, or maybe it isn't. But regardless, he still shouldn't be here. Maybe he thought that, and his actions here are dictated because he saw the guy didn't have a gun. Now, it turns out the guy dropped his gun, and they find it. But does he have a pistol? Does he have a second weapon? Again, I don't know. And I don't know what Lester's thought process was in this. But he doesn't back off this guy.
Hey! You're trespassing!
Okay, so in my mind, and viewers, if we're watching this, you're yelling he's trespassing and he's trying to get away and you're chasing. So if your goal was to get him to leave, you probably accomplish it. But again, I get where Lester's coming from. You get in this pursuit mode and you get into this, yo man, you just freaking shot. You could have shot me. What the hell are you doing on my I'm going to confront you. So Lester's a confronting guy, but it's not a good idea to confront somebody with a gun who's already broken the law, who's already trespassing, who now is running away because he knows he's trespassing. He's not a cooperative guy. He's not a guy that made a mistake. He's not saying, man, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I am so sorry. He's not trying to communicate. He's moving away and you're chasing. Now you're pursuing a guy that you know nothing about in the woods that just fired a gun and may have another gun. Not a good move, Lester. I get it. You're in reaction mode. I salute your not wanting to back down. But, dude, I don't want to see your ass get shot in the woods.
That's my property! Hey! Hey!
So right here, so much is being processed. This is when people stumble in their words. This is when I'm doing my cop videos and everybody's like, these damn cops yelling, put your hands up, don't move, show me your hands, roll over that. And everybody wants to crack. This is what happens when you're trying to process so much information so quickly. And he gets a little tongue-tied here. He doesn't really know, because he doesn't have a plan, what he wants to say. He's kind of in reaction mode here. Listen to this. Hey, yeah.
Trespassing! Hey! You're trespassing! That's my property! Hey! Hey!
Hey! Ho! Yeah! Ho! Ho! Hey! Ho! So he really doesn't know whether I want you to stop or go. You're trespassing. He really hasn't told this guy anything other than stop shooting, there's people. That was good. He communicated that. Here he should communicate a little bit better. Again, hindsight's 20/20. I'm sitting here at my computer drinking my coffee, saying all this. He's drinking his coffee, hearing a gunshot. Now he's in a pursuit on his land of an armed person. Totally different mindsets we're in when this happened.
You're trespassing! Hold up! I'm unarmed!
Man, when he said this, I'm like, Lester, why the hell would you... Now, in his mind, if I talked to him, he would be, I didn't want the guy to think that I was going to shoot him or that I was chasing him to shoot him. That would be his justification. In my mind, I'm never telling a guy that's already committing a crime, trespassing and shooting and hunting and possibly has a gun, and now I'm chasing and he's running away from me, that I don't have a gun. That's not a good move in my book. But again, hindsight's 20/20.
I am not armed!
Yeah, he's got that. You're lucky you're not shot, but he's got it. But keep telling him, Lester.
Ouch!
Running in Crocs is not a good thing. Sticks go through those little holes. They don't have really good padding. Plus, he's probably running through stickers, cutting his legs up. I want to know. Let's start the rumor. Lester, when he chased this guy, he ran through poison ivy. And because he has his boxers on, he's got poison ivy all over his junk. Rick, why are you being... Poor Lester. Where the hell is Jamie with his pants? Jamie, what the... Rick, why are you picking on Jamie? I'm not, I'm just starting shit.
I think they done come out of there. Where'd they go?
Okay, so he's saying they. Did he see two people? Did he think he saw two people? Or is he guessing that there's two people? We don't know, but it doesn't matter. To me, when he says they, I'm like, dude, not only are you chasing a guy with no pants and no gun, now you're yelling at the dude that you don't have a gun, and now it changes from one guy to multiple guys. This is just a bad situation that's going worse. Bad decision after bad decision. Okay, when you're digging a hole at some point and you find yourself in a hole, you should stop digging. It's hard to disengage when you're emotionally involved and you get tunnel vision. He has got tunnel vision on these poachers, these people on my land. I've got to identify, I've got to confront, I got to find out what's going on. And he got tunnel vision instead of backing up and going, you know what? Let me grab a gun. Let me maybe get a neighbor. Let me make sure Jamie's okay. I'm going to get some pants on and I'm going to go back. Now, other people will be saying, if you do that, then they'll be gone and you won't catch them. Well, maybe catching them isn't the best thing when you're not armed. Maybe that's a good thing that they just leave and you don't catch them. I get it. I'm a meat eater. I'm a chaser. I've chased a lot of people. I was told my whole career as a cop, you're too dangerous. You shouldn't chase people. You know, you're going to get killed. You know, in Vallejo, when I was working in Vallejo, they had a no chase policy for a while because they were suckering cops in. They would make us chase them. And as soon as we chased them into a house, it was an abandoned house, there was 4 or 5 guys there waiting with 2x4s. They beat the shit out of the cop. So they were like, dude, don't chase alone. They were actually setting up the cops to chase you. They would like throw a rock at you and run just so you would chase them. And they had 4 guys waiting, and then they know you would chase them. They'd run into this abandoned home and they'd ambush the cops. You know, my mindset, because of my experiences, you need to think about some of these things. But again, Lester doesn't have that. He's just thinking on the fly. So this isn't critical saying Lester's a bad guy. This is an educational brought to you by Lester Longhorn Boxers.
Hold your fire! Don't shoot! I'm not armed!
This guy kills me. Don't shoot, I'm not armed. You're on my property. You're trespassing. You're committing offense. I know you're a criminal already. You got a freaking gun. You've already demonstrated that you're an idiot and you're shooting. But I'm going to let you know that I'm not armed and I'm going to start telling you what to do. Lester. Scratching my head for those that can't see me.
Hello?
So here he's evaluating whether there's another guy. He's trying to be careful and identify himself. I think he's thinking that it's kind of like when you're around a bear. If you make a lot of noise, you won't surprise him, and the bear will maybe run away and not attack you. And I kind of think that's what he's thinking of. People are not bears, and when you give up tactical information and they want to harm you and they're predators, they're going to use your information against you.
Hello?
Pow! That's how criminals say hello sometimes, for those that haven't dealt with criminals.
Hey, don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Okay, come on up, boxer boy.
Hey, you're on my property.
Oh, it's your property? Oh, shit. Come on up. We'll talk about it.
You're on my property. I'm not here to file charges. I just want to talk to you for a minute.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're not going to file charges because I'm shooting your ass and burying your ass in the woods. I ain't worried about you filing charges. After I kill your unarmed ass that you keep telling me that you don't have a gun, I'm just going to jump in this river and swim away. But thanks for the info. Thanks for playing.
I'm coming up.
I
don't know if there's one or there's more. I saw one go off that way. Hey! Hey!
This is where you get pretty good footage of this guy. The fact that this guy really isn't looking at him tells me that he doesn't want him to see his face. Now, maybe he did look, and I can't tell in this footage. But the fact that he's got his head down and just leaving, I can't tell if that is a hunter safety vest, the color, or is that a faded vest, or it's just a hunting vest. I don't know. But this guy's behavior tells me a lot about his intent. He wants to get the hell out of here. He knows he's not supposed to be there. He did not make a mistake. And look, any hunter that doesn't build their own blind and they go into a blind that they find built, it's not theirs and they know it. So that's kind of their intent right there.
Hey! I don't know.
Okay, so look, I'm a cop. I got a gun and a vest when I go in places, and I get it that I have to go in and clear places. But to go in and clear a place without gun, pants, I'm okay. I don't care if you're naked or no pants. But no gun, Lester.
Hey, I'm making a video.
Well, that'll save you.
So don't be surprised you see a camera in your face.
What is this? A freaking doorbell? A smoke detector? What the hell is this, Lester? Somebody tell me what that is.
But I'm not armed.
Thanks. Come on in. I'm armed. I love unarmed people.
I'm not armed. There ain't nobody here.
Nice shirt. You don't know if there's nobody there. He hasn't checked behind that door. He jumps to the conclusion there's nobody here. He does end up pushing the door. This is called confirmation bias. We want to have facts that confirm our position because it makes us feel better. So when he was kind of like trying to evaluate before, and he was like, gosh, man, there's somebody, and he didn't really want to have to deal with this, but he knew he did. Here's kind of what he's doing here. I think it's empty, but he really hasn't cleared it yet.
There's nobody here. Okay.
Now he pushes to make sure no one's behind the door.
Hey, they're gone.
I still can't figure out what that is on the wall. Somebody help me out. Is that like an alarm? Smoke detector? What is it?
Okay. Jamie, where's my pants, babe?
Okay, just in case anybody ever sees me with no pants, I would rather you bring me a gun than pants 99 times out of 100. Okay? Just so we got that clear. Here comes the pants lady. Jamie with the pants. Save the day. That'll keep you safe.
Babe, here's your pants.
These guys are killing me. Good little Jamie. Lester, you can put an ammo can on the back of your quads. You can buy a handgun, load it, put some Renaissance wax on it or some good oil, put it in a good rust-proof bag or case, stick it in the ammo can, bolt it to your every quad you have, and you will always have a gun. Now, I don't know how many kids he comes out there. That could be another issue, but that's just a suggestion.
Don't focus on me.
Don't focus on me. He's still worried about his manhood. Ain't nobody seeing that little freaking thing anyway. Just quit trying to cover up like somebody's going to see something.
So I saw him coming down the deer stand. I saw him go out to the woods.
They were in the deer stand?
What? Stop it.
This shit kills me. All right, so Lester is still in a little bit of hypervigilance or this fight or flight. This loud noise kind of gives him PTSD right here. Jamie just gave him PTSD. Watch this PTSD moment. PTSD moment brought to you by Jamie and Lester.
I saw him coming down the deer stand. I saw him go out to the woods.
They were in the deer stand?
Oh my God, she almost lay. Poor Lester, he didn't even get his pants on. He couldn't shit his pants because he didn't get his pants on yet, so he just shit his boxers.
So I saw him coming down the deer stand. I saw him go out to the woods.
They were in the deer stand?
What the? That shit kills me. Oh my God, that's funny.
You're scaring me.
I'm sorry, I'm freaked out. Like, really freaked
Okay,
out.
stop screaming. Stop screaming.
Okay, so you notice Jamie is getting more information, and she's like, holy you can hear her emotions getting higher. She's more upset. She's like even more incensed now. Lester kind of got some of that out of him because he was running and chasing. And when you go in fight or flight, your body gets that adrenaline dump, and you have to use that. And when you don't use it and you just stand there, it builds up in you, which is why some cops react different when they're in these situations.
Well,
Did you bring a gun?
no.
You brought me pants.
I just picked you. All you yelled for was pants.
So here Lester's like, did you bring a gun?
No.
You brought me pants.
I just picked you. All you yelled for was pants.
I would have thought you would have brought me a gun.
What are you going to do with a gun?
Well, if they want to have a gunfight or something, James.
Okay, I like the way Lester's thinking here. It would be nice to have a gun, so at least he's thinking.
This is not the Wild West.
Actually it is. Jamie, I hate to break it to you, but Texas is kind of still the Wild West, especially when you're out in a country with hunters. And you need to have the mindset that, hey, when predators and criminals and illegals and people avoiding the law that don't want to go to prison end up in your area of operation or your area of control or your private land, they are not law-abiding citizens, and it is the Wild West. It is survival of the fittest. And if you get in their way, just like if a cop gets in their way, they're going to shoot. Your life is nothing. The mindset needs to be, when I'm out here, I have to be able to defend myself. It is the Wild, Wild West. 911 ain't coming. Criminals know 911 ain't coming out in the woods. They know that you're usually out there isolated by yourself. And if they catch you at a weak moment, you are a victim looking for a place to happen.
What?
Stop screaming.
I'm
Stop
sorry,
screaming.
I'm
You're
just...
talking like 10 times as loud as you need to be.
Okay, well, it freaked me out.
It freaked me out. I'm just freaked out here.
They're gone by now, but I want to...
You don't know if they're gone. This is a conclusion that is not good. Until you confirm it, it's not true. They may not be gone. They could have just dug in. They could be sighting in on you right now and deciding, should we kill these two people or should we not? Now, in a minute, you're going to see that they left their gun, a gun. You don't know if poachers will sometimes have fallback positions. They'll have guns. They'll have other people. If he's in a group, he could have just went back, reconnected with the group and says, hey, man, I dropped my gun. It's going to identify me. We have to go back and get my gun. If there's people there, let's just kill them. I need to get my gun. I mean, this is nobody wants to think of it this way. This can be looked at as, you know what? The guy went on there and he ran off. Lester chased him, boxer, no big deal. That's great that it turned out that way. But I can give you 1,000 scenarios where it could have turned out, and all those scenarios end up with Jamie and Lester dead. No witnesses. I want people to be more survival skill oriented and get out of this sheepish kind of like we're in a safe environment and everywhere's safe and the government tells us we're safe, therefore we are safe. And I'm not saying Jamie and Lester are like this. I'm just saying the mindset in America right now is guns are bad, and if only government had guns, government will protect us and we can just run around and just feel like we're safe and nobody's going to hurt us and government will always come and save us. That is a loser mindset that will get you killed. Now, I want to point out, in some point in here, we talk about a belt.
Okay, well,
that nobody brought a belt. And when he's putting this on, I see a belt here. Is that just me or not? That looks like a belt to me. But I did notice that somewhere there becomes an argument about not bringing a belt. I just want to point that out.
What?
Stop screaming.
Okay, so Lester, being the more man want to protect, he is into gathering information. He's still in hypervigilance. He wants to hear what's going on. He's listening to see if they're coming back, etc. He hasn't dropped his guard yet. Jamie is more into, this is bullshit. She wants to talk it out. She wants to communicate what she's feeling. I'm not saying that's bad, people. I'm just saying men and women react to things differently, and I totally see it. It's not a bad or good thing.
I'm sorry, I'm just...
You're talking like 10 times as loud as you need to be.
Okay, well, it freaked me out.
They're gone by now, but I want to...
Bad conclusion. They may not be gone.
Okay.
Better.
I hope you did not focus on my man parts, Jamie, dangling around.
So you can tell Lester is moving out of his tactical mode because now he's concerned about his man parts.
Well, one should wear pants more often then.
Okay, so this is where women and men disagree. Women like to get dressed. Men like it when women don't wear pants, and men don't like to wear pants. Sorry. It's just a man thing.
You didn't bring me any boots or anything.
No, you didn't ask for them.
That's helpful.
I hear Mr. Kenny coming.
Oh, no.
Okay, so his neighbor was calling him. That's a good thing. His neighbor heard a gun, probably heard the yelling, And I think his neighbor comes over with a
He
gun.
was calling me 'cause I know he's worried.
Oh, well, it's good to have good neighbors, but man, that is,
Oh, no, Kenny will tell you in a heartbeat how many people come poaching on his land.
that's not
I
good.
don't know, is poaching or trespassing the same thing?
It's
right?
well, poaching means that they killed something that belonged to you.
I kind of think she's right. I don't really know the difference. Poaching, I thought, was taking game or illegally, whether it's from trespassing or whether it's out of season. I thought that's what poaching was, but I'm not sure if poaching really covers trespassing. I'd have to look it up.
I think,
If
but
you can do me a quick favor and just drive your four-wheeler around and see, make sure that nothing dead over there, or see if it's like you see any tracks of anything. And I'm gonna walk out to these woods. I wish I had a gun or something.
we'll get you a stick.
Are you kidding me? Okay, so I say this a lot on my horse channel because women are always like, I wish my horse did this, and I wish my horse did this, and I always say, if wishes were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. What is that? Butts and nuts and cuts? I can't remember the saying now. But Lester says, I wish I had a gun. He should not be wishing. He should make that happen before he goes. They have time. There is no sense of urgency. My advice at this point should have been, I need to have a gun if I'm running around out here. Even though I'm on my own property, I know there was an armed person here. I know somebody's out here hunting. I don't want to be the only one at a gunfight without a freaking gun. Come on, Lester.
Keep yelling because they need to know that you're not a deer, an animal to shoot.
So Jamie's encouraging you to keep going without a gun and yelling that I don't have a gun. And so again, I don't agree with this mindset, but I get what they're doing.
This is a horrible time to be wandering in the woods right now.
I agree. Why not go back and get a gun? Why not get reinforcements? What is the urgency? It's called tunnel vision, focus. We're not thinking clearly. We're a little emotionally. Lester's involved emotionally because this guy came on his property, and Texas people are pretty protective of property. And, you know, I got in a big old beef because I looked out there and there was some dude with a shovel pushing my horse off, and I freaking went out there with a gun. I wasn't freaking happy. And it was the electrical company, and they were working. They had some contractors working on my poles, and they didn't tell me. Well, then they go, well, we sent you a letter. And I go, I don't read freaking mail. I throw away all my letters. My bill's paid automatically. I have no reason to read your bullshit. So don't tell me because you sent me a letter, suddenly you can pop up on my property with a shovel and be pushing my horse off. They end up leaving. We had a big beef, and now they got my property labeled as, there's a crazy guy there. We got to let him know before we go on his property. So whatever.
Now he needs neon orange Crocs to match. Look at how much he blends in. Look at that. You can't tell. It just looks like something shuffling around. This is a horrible plan. Horrible.
Jamie, I'm with you here. Me and Jamie are like connected right here, eye to eye. This is a horrible plan. Bingo.
Plan.
Do not shoot. I'm not armed. This is my property.
If you're not armed, it ain't your property. Because anybody that's armed can take your property. That's the Second Amendment. That's why we have the Second Amendment. If you can't defend and keep what you have, it's not yours. Especially when things go bad and when you're dealing with predators and hunters and people that are out there to take things that aren't theirs. So
Y'all hear that? That's a boat on the darn river.
okay, so it sounds like these guys are driving down the river. Hey, that looks like a good place. Let's pull the boat up and we'll go out there. So I don't know if this is marked with private property, fence line, or purple paint. In Texas, if you put a purple paint, I did a video on it. It's got to be, I think, at least 1 inch thick and at least 3 feet long, and it's got to be at average height level. And you put it on tree. You just paint a purple line on your tree. That is a no trespassing sign in Texas. And it gives notice that you cannot cross this area. It's just like having a fence. It's just like having signs posted. So all those trees along his fence line ought to have purple paint on it. And then he's got a good trespassing. This guy that left in a boat, if there's no fence line and he didn't have to climb a fence and he just wandered onto this property, Lester would have a hard time proving in court that it was a trespassing, that the person was given notice. In order to enforce trespassing, a person must have notice. Notice is he must know that it's private property. He's not supposed to be there. Notice in Texas is either verbal or it can be a sign, a fence line with signs, or purple paint. So I don't know what Lester has here.
That is a boat on the river.
So they're gone now. They're getting the hell out
They
of Dodge.
come off a boat off the river. I want to...
He's saying they. Again, does he see multiple people, or is it just one that he sees?
Boy, something.
So the place that he bought the people from used to let people come hunt. So he's thinking maybe these people came back out here because they used to hunt, and they used to have permission, and they didn't know they have a new owner.
As far as tracks, then I'm going to have to call Mr. Kinney and let him know that all is fine. Ah, sheesh.
So I don't see a fence line. So how did this guy know he's trespassing?
Scary. Okay, hold on a minute. Oh, my shorts are falling down. She should have. Okay, hold on a minute. Don't touch it.
Okay, I think Jamie says, I found a gun, and he says, don't touch it. Good move.
She said she found the gun. Boy, I'm not dressed for this. I wish you would have brought me some boots and a belt.
I thought I saw a belt, Lester, but okay.
Too scary. I'm sorry, but this gun's right here.
Okay. He tossed it then. Don't.
Janie's like a little hunting dog. Find the gun, Janie. Where's the gun, Janie? Go find it. I got it. Ruff, ruff. I'm not calling her a dog. Everybody's going to be here. Man, you just called his wife a dog. No, I didn't. It's an analogy, you freaking little crybabies.
Don't touch it.
I'm not touching it.
She's not touching it.
It's on the ground.
Oh. He tossed it.
Now, did he toss it? Why did he toss it? I thought somebody made a comment that the serial numbers were removed. I don't know if that's true or not. It looks like a pretty nice double barrel break open shotgun. And if the serial numbers are removed, this totally changes the whole aspect. Now you've got a guy with an illegal gun with a serial number removed. He didn't want to get caught with a gun with the serial number removed in case it was the cops, so he tossed his gun and he ran. Makes him more of a criminal, more illegal, and the threat is much higher. This changes the fact that a guy a good guy, a hunter, who was just hunting and accidentally stumbled on your land hunting. This is a total different thing now. We have somebody who's already committing felonies, removing the serial numbers from a gun that he either stole or he bought stolen. He's engaged in criminal activity. He's engaged in having a gun with serial number. I know somebody's going to come my gun. People will be like, man, you're in for government. I'm just telling you the mindset of people you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got a nice stock on it.
Not.
Because there may be prints on it.
Well, it's probably registered.
Okay, when Jamie says registered, I'm like, come on, Jamie. They don't register guns in Texas. When you buy a gun, you fill out a 4473, and the gun store has that information that you bought the gun from them. But there is no registry. There's not supposed to be. We're told there is not a registry of guns. And the only way what would happen on this is if this gun had a serial number, they would seize it. We would run a serial number. And remember, I worked on a gun violence grant task force, and this is what we used to do on any type of these calls, is you do a reverse on a serial number. So we fill out an ATF form. I forgot the form number. Send it to ATF. ATF says, okay, this serial number was manufactured by this manufacturer and shipped to the country on this date, or if it was out of country or made in the USA, they send a letter to the manufacturer saying, where did this gun go? And this gun says, Walmart bought this in a batch on this date at this time, and it was in a batch of 200, and that's where it was sent. So then a request is sent to Walmart saying, this gun was delivered to you by this date from this distributor. Where is this gun? And Walmart will say, this gun was shipped to the Walmart in Denton, Texas, or Dallas, Texas, and this is the Walmart that it was shipped to, and it was sold there. Then you go to Dallas, Texas, and you go, Dallas, Texas Walmart, you sold this gun from this manufacturer. Where did it go? And Dallas Walmart will look through their 4473s, which they're required to keep the whole time they're in business. And if they go out of business, then they mail all those forms to the federal government, but they keep it. Then they go through and they go, oh yeah, here it is. Here's a shotgun. Here's where the guy signed his name. Here's where I called in the background, and here's who bought the gun. Then we get, that's the person who has the gun. Then we go to that person and we go, hey, you signed a 4473 for this gun on this date at Walmart. Where's the gun? And he goes, oh, I sold that to a buddy of mine who was getting a divorce, and he had a crazy woman, and he needed a gun. Okay, what's the buddy's name? He gives the name. Then we go to the buddy. This guy says he sold his gun to you. Yeah, I didn't need the gun anymore, so I sold it at a gun show, or I sold it in a parking lot, and I don't know where the gun went. And then we're done. And the investigation ends there. So there is no gun registry, although a lot of people think that, and they think because of gun serial numbers they can find it. The only thing we find out about a serial number is, one, if a gun is stolen, then that serial number is placed in the stolen database. So if somebody runs that serial number, we know it's a gun that's stolen. But on this case, this gun is stolen. They removed the serial numbers, so the cops couldn't tell it was stolen. But the law is, even if you have a gun with no serial number, it's automatically considered stolen because you removed it. So it's the same charge, kind of same. It's a different charge, but you still go to prison. It's about the same for having a stolen. The only difference is, normally, some states, you are required to show the person had knowledge that the gun was stolen. It's almost presumptive that if you have a gun where the serial numbers have been scratched off or edged off, that most reasonable people would think the gun's illegal. Otherwise, why would you remove the serial number? All right, I'm just explaining the law. Don't get mad at me. That's what goes on.
No, yeah, and if it's new, it'll be registered. If it's old, then it may not be, but
It's where the
nonetheless.
shot.
Don't touch it though. So
I'm not gonna touch it.
we'll call the game warden. He has to.
You're like, what makes one think, hey, this is empty, y'all come here?
Well, I'll tell you what, that person will never come back because they know.
Bad move, Lester. He left his gun there, and you're running around yelling, I don't have a gun. I'm betting donuts to dollars that that guy's coming back for his gun. That is a bad presumption that you think this guy will not come back. He's going to come back for that gun, and he knows that you're running around yelling, I don't have a gun. Even though you may have a gun next time, he's, in his mind, hey, this guy chased me and was telling me he didn't have a gun. He's not probably tactically savvy. He's not really that smart of a survivalist. And I'm going to go back and see if I can get that gun back. He will be back.
Know that we're onto them now, and they probably didn't think that we were ever here this early in the morning. Yeah, cameras for sure.
Yeah, if you have a deer blind, I mean, they've got all kind of, I mean, it's expensive, etc., but they have these cameras that you have to pay, and it has an IP, and it goes through the cell system, and it will notify you every time something happens. So he could easily put a hidden camera in there, and when anybody walked in that blind, it would start the camera. That camera would phone and text or email him, and he could see the video inside there. So that would be an easy fix. Technology is great. Unfortunately, technology costs money, and it costs monthly fees, and some people can't afford it, but that would be a great thing to put out there, in my opinion.
All right, let's go, babe.
Well, look who's finally here. Where's my backup been the whole time? And he comes with a kitty cat.
This cat's like, I'm on the lead, dude. I got you covered. At least he's got a gun.
Kenny shows up with his kitty cat.
Hey, he showed up with a gun. If I was out there bleeding, at least he'd find me, maybe. Good for you. Good neighbor. Okay, that's my take. I know I went long, but a lot of lessons here. Hopefully nobody will think that I was really mean to Lester. Anytime I do a Lester video, I always get these people that are very protective of him, and they'll come and hate here on me. But anyway, hopefully you got something out of this. Great video. We'll end that there. Brought to you by Lester's Boxers.